And his friend, look at that, I can't work with this. I'm out of here. God damn. You know something? You know, you always want it, like, you wish you could do something, like, you know, little, and like have it done, like watch cops get atomized. You know, like you see some cop, like giving some guy, like giving him a parking ticket, like he's taking over Poland, and you go, God, wouldn't it be great if that guy's head flew off? Or when you're driving down the highway, this is just shit I think about. When you're driving down the highway, and you look over at the side, and there's a motorist sitting in his car like this, and there's a cop outside writing him the ticket. Don't you wish you could drive by, and about neck level of that pig, just let off a short but controlled burst from your handy AK. It's like, the head just comes off, and you look at the motorist gets out and gives you the thumbs up. You like flash your taillights and ow, keep on driving. That kind of shit would be so cool, because you know you'd be getting out of the ticket. You know, you'd be like, wow, I guess I don't have to pay that $85. Fuck, I don't know who that guy is, but you know, he's on my guest list permanent. And here's some, I was watching the Surrealists, right, with all of you. I was back there in the corner. And I was thinking about this one thing. I think I've been thinking about it for the last few days, actually. In America, where I come from, there's all these bands. And they come out and they play, and you hear their whole record collection. You go, oh yeah, they got that Sonic Youth record. They got that Jane's Addiction record. Velvet Underground, Stooges, and you just watch these bands crank out their record collection on stage, and you go, that's nice, aren't they nice? And then the critics jump on them, this is it, this is the new thing, this, I've seen the new direction of rock and roll, and it's these guys, and you're like, So the other night I was in Los Angeles at the Whiskey A Go-Go, and I went in to see two of these bands that are the bands of tomorrow. And I went in there, and man, it was the biggest sack of shit I've ever seen. And the crowd was just like, these bands are just so limp. I'm standing there next to my friend, we're just going like, are you kidding me? I mean, we're old, you know, we've seen some shit. And we're watching this weak shit, we're watching all these 19-year-old people, yeah. All these poor kids, man, they're getting a watered-down version of a watered-down version. Fuck it, it's like drinking Perrier water when you wanted malt liquor, you know? You're not gonna get off. So I was just thinking, man, if I could, you know, blink my eyes and snap my fingers and put on my red-heeled shoes and click them 3 times and get what I wanted, you know what I would do? I would have either the Surrealists or the Be Suburban go on in front of these bands, like open for them. Like these bands would come out, like, you know, and like the crowd would just be like decimated. And then these bands would try to do this limp shit that they're selling like 250,000 records and riding around in nice cars and buying houses off of. And their crowd would be laughing at it because either one of these bands on any given night would fucking blow any of this shit off the fucking face of the earth. So, if any of you Australian folks thinks you got nothing going, like, what do you guys do down there? Fucking jack off koala bears? You can say no, man. We got the Be Suburban, we got the Surrealists, we got the hard-ons, man. Fuck you guys. Because believe me, when that shit gets off the island here and comes over my way, some people are gonna be all embarrassed and going home and hanging up their guitars and shit, getting out their lawnmowers, going over to Kim Simon's house and going like, can I mow your lawn, sir? Did you guys go to the big day out yesterday? Yeah. You see the Be Suburban? Yeah. Fucking kicked ass. I was on the side of the stage, man. Little hard on going. Bouncing up against those side bills, going, oh! Fucking that shit was good, man. Damn. Mick Jagger wishes he could be Tex, man. Tex comes out that fucking I don't give a fuck thing, man. He's like out there like, that guy's fucking hot, man. Anyway, I want to tell you this quick story about getting my mouth shut. The other night I did a show here in Sydney and I talked about getting my mouth shut. But this is a different, better story about getting my mouth shut. It starts off, you know, like when you say something, you think you're really hot shit and you're dishing out the shit, and then someone says like, or does something, and you're like, hey! Like the first story I told the other night is when I was making fun of the Nelson brothers. In this magazine article, I wrote this article on tattoos in this magazine, and I said at the end of the article, I said, I'm going to go out and get this tattoo, man. I'm going to get the Wilson Phillips girls' faces across my chest. And then after that, on my chest, I'm going to get the fucking Nelson brothers, man. Fucking that'll look stupid as fuck, huh, you know? So then, I met the Nelson, one of the Nelson guys. He came backstage to say hi, and you know, he goes, hey, you know, I really like that article you wrote in details. I don't even remember it this one. I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, you know, it was really funny. I go, oh, thanks. He's like, the guy's really all right. He's a nice guy. I'm, well, yeah, okay. And he goes, you know the part you were gonna get the Wilson Phillips sisters and me and my brother tattooed on your chest. I'm like, hey. And he went, yeah, well, you get it? And I felt like, oh, fuck you. But anyway, this other moment where I got my mouth shut, really pretty cool, man. Great moment. Started off with this misunderstanding. And we all have big misunderstandings in our lives. Like one time, this guy in Yugoslavia spat on me during the show. So I punched him out. You know, like, I fucking smoked him. Because, you know, hey, you know, you spit on me. Would you go to a guy at a bus stop and spit on him? No. Or if you did, would you be surprised if the guy, like, went home, got his car, ran you over a few times? I mean, you don't spit on people. So this guy spat on me. Boots, I smoked his ass. After the show, he's outside standing by our van, sad punker man, with his crooked mohawk. He's like, come on, punker, let's finish it up, man. I'm gonna kill you, man. And he goes, why are you for hitting me? And I said, what do you mean? You fucking spat on me, you dick. And he goes, I am punk rock. I play your texts many times at band practice. We are punk rock. When we like each other, we spit. You're my favorite singer, and you hated me. I traveled 15 hours on a train, and you hated me. Why did you hate me? I was like, I'm sorry, man. Spare me. Oh, it was just a misunderstanding. So next time you guys are in Zagreb, I know you've been planning to go. If I get saving those shekels, man, I'm busting out of Sydney, man. I'm going to Zagreb. Don't tonight. I hate my dad. I hate whatever you got. I don't know. I can't get any, therefore I hate the world. Whatever the fuck I sing about, I don't know. Anyway, singing away about something. And all of a sudden, I look up, and there is this big motherfucking guy standing in front of me, lumberjack man, in this shirt, you know, flannel, big flannel shirt. I'm like, wow. And I'm singing, and I'm just looking at him because I'm like really tripping, because I'm tired, I'm hot, and I'm in the middle of this intense song. And there's this guy's kind of like looking at me. It's like so weird. It could have been a mirage. And then I kind of go back to singing, open my eyes again, and there's this huge thing coming right at my face. And it like, you know how like when shit's about to happen, everything moves real slow. And I'm looking at this like pink thing coming at my face, and I'm going like, that was a fist. And I'm on the ground like, and I get up, I go, in time to realize this guy has just hauled off and punched me right in the jaw. I get up, I'm like, what the fuck? And I get up again, and I get up, fuck, what the? I open my eyes, there's another one of these pink things, this big blurry like side of ham coming at my, I'm like, oh no, I'm on the ground again. And I look around, and this has happened so fast, no one in the band knows what to do. They just looked up, and there's this huge guy hammering me. And they're like, well, you know, because they were in the song, you know, they're looking up, and all of a sudden old Hank is getting his ass kicked. And so I didn't mind them kind of going like, what the fuck? The best thing was looking on the side, I'm going like this, because the guy's coming at me. I'm like, so I can't fight back. I'm like, my bells are ringing, I got the little birds flying around my head. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to get killed, man. I look at the security guys, they're like this. They're standing like by that exit sign. All right, if he comes over here, I'm running. They wouldn't come near this guy. I'm like, great. They're like, yeah. like shit, but they wouldn't do anything. Oh, I'm dead. The guy comes towards me, grabs me by my shoulder, throws me out of the way, hops off stage and walks right out the front door. And everyone's like, fuck. This big thing, like, parted, and he walked right out. And everyone in the band's like, are you okay, man? I'm like, yeah. Let's just keep playing. And we finished the song, came out and encored, because I'm not about to, like, go off stage and go, ooh, I got beat up. Now I was pissed off, So I said, yeah, we'll play. And meanwhile, my mouth is, like, swelling up. And by the second song of the encore, I can't really open my mouth because, like, my jaw came loose. But the guy's there going, man, don't play. Let's just fucking go to a hospital. So, man, you're fucked up. I'm like, fuck these people. We'll sing. I'm like, oh, it was very nice being in Bern. And we'll see you next year, you fucking Swiss dicks. We came back the next year, so I go busting out of there with this fucked up face, man. The whole side of my face is like, oh, and I can't even open my mouth. I'm like, and they're going, go to the hospital. I'm like, no, let's just go to the hotel, I'll get some sleep. This Swiss girl walks up to me, blonde, blue eyes, goes, I go with you to your hotel room tonight. And I'm like, let me give that about 0.5 seconds of thought, okay. So we go into the hotel room, and I'm so lame. I had no idea what we were supposed to do in there. So, I'm sitting on this bed with this girl. My face is like a swollen, how do you say that here, tomato. I'm like, and I'm in the middle of one of my, like, 5-hour Nietzsche raps, and then I think he meant in the book Twilight of the Isles, and she's looking at me like so bored, like, okay, Mr. Rockstar. And so I'm just going on about this, this concept of, fucking cynicism in modern day Europe and how it has affected religion and art and morality as we know it. And I read in this book, and this is what Schopenhauer thinks of it. And then she just goes like, and tore her shirt off. And I'm like, and then oh. I understand now. It was so hot, she's like, yeah, right, I'm very excited by all this, and pulled her tank top off. It was so great. It's like, oh, cool. And then, the rest of the evening was like pretty alright. So we went back to Bern the next year, and here's where that was the shut your mouth thing, and here's where the misunderstanding part comes in. We go back to Bern the next year, and we meet up with a security guy. Like Mr. Dependable. That guy? And he goes, hey, maybe your friend will be back tonight. I said, yeah, if he is, I'm in trouble. Because you're here, I got no one watching my back if it's just you. He goes, well, if he stuck around 3 more seconds, man. Shut up! So we find out what this big guy's problem was, because I didn't remember offending anyone so badly that they got to punch me out. I mean, I might be offensive or say something, but I don't think I said anything that night. Everyone was really cool. We did a gig with this band called the Young Gods. It was a great gig. So anyway, we find out what the guy's problem was. He works at a bar next door to the hall we were at. He is totally straight. He is really into Jesus Christ. He came in, checked out the band, saw the singer, and thought I was possessed by the devil. Came on stage to punch the evil out of me. And he really thought he was doing a good thing. So he probably wants me to, at some level, he probably is hoping I'm going to come in one day to the bar and thank him. Like, he beat my ass, man. And I thought he didn't like me. He was really trying to save my life, man. That's just a misunderstanding. So, hey, next time, next time you're in Bern, some big guy walks up and goes, hey, you're like, hey, come on, I'm not into Satan, get away from me. You'll know what to do, because you heard it first, right here in Old Sydney. I should write a travel guide. Here's where you should not go. This is one I wanted to tell you a story about where I was a major asshole where I learned a great lesson. That's how I learn all my lessons. You know how you learn perspective the hard way? You learn that like you shouldn't mess with something after like the thing goes and kicks your ass. Like I shouldn't talk shit to those 8 guys over there playing basketball. You know, and you learn that because they've just come over and like danced on your face for like 45 minutes. You know, I shouldn't handcuff myself to a chain link fence near a preschool around 3 o'clock when it gets out, pull down my pants and go, eat me, eat me. You know, and you learn after after you get an attraction, you know, you learn you probably shouldn't have done it. I mean, you learn the lessons the hard way sometimes. If you're a moron, like me, you learn them real hard. So anyway, I went to Greece one time with my mom because she couldn't dump me anywhere else. She wanted to dump me off at one of those summer camps where you just run around and puke all day. You know, they give you warm milk, mayonnaise, white bread, and bologna sandwich. And they go, okay, go out in the hot sun and run around in a circle. And you're like, all right. You run around, ah, blah! And then you're green for the rest of the day. All right, that's day 1. Day 2, more running around and puking. Day 3, poison ivy. Day 4, you cry and want to go home. This is summer camp. 6 weeks, get used to it. Day 5, gimp and box turtles. I mean, it's the worst torture you can imagine. So my mom is, I'm gonna send you to one of those camps. Which I was already used to. She used to bust me off to North Carolina. I'd sit in the mountains for 6 weeks while she had a vacation from me, the kid she didn't want. So anyway, she'd been studying for years about Greece and stuff, so she saved up her money. She was going to go to Greece, go to all the museums, check out Pompeii and all this, you know, the people that were, you know, remade into ash from the deposits and shit, and go sail the Mediterranean or whatever. And so anyway, she was going to go by herself with all of her art books and see the sights, see the charioteer guy, and see the Sistine Chapel, you know, all by herself. Maybe pick up some sexy guy on the boat. I don't know, but anyway, she ended up having to take me. Boy, she hated the idea. And so one day, it's 4 weeks into this 6-week trip, and the routine is you get up at the crack of dawn, you get in this bus full of you, your mom, and like 85 million old codgers. Man, they all smell. I got that fake teeth, and they gotta stop every 10 minutes and use the restroom, and it takes them all like 90 minutes, and you're just going through Greece, it's sweltering hot, and you drive like 5 hours to go to a church. You walk around like at a fast clip, and the lady goes, hey, that guy painted that, and that guy painted that, and that guy painted that, and then you, that man in 4 million BC made that pot over there, okay, back in the bus. And you just like get this express tour of Greece, and you see everything, if you could like see it while you're running. And she's like, come on, let's go, we have to go to this amphitheater, go sit in the amphitheater. You can hear me talk all the way from down here, see? Okay, great, now get back in the bus. And it's just like, okay, and it's like discipline every day. You're gonna go out and see those sights, get your money's worth. Big bang for your drachma. So anyway, hey, you know, I'm some little kid, like some piece of pottery some asshole in a toga made 40 million years ago means shit to me, man, fuck you. I was bored as fuck. So we get to like, the point where I'm just, the only fun I have is like catching lizards in the dirt while when we make stops. So we get to this one particularly like out of the off the way kind of places, like the small city with like a small, you know, gathering place, a little township in the middle, water fountain and all the little stores, and they pull the bus up, and Michelle was our tour guide, this beautiful Greek woman, and her fiance was the bus driver, big burly Greek guy, big hairy chest, burly man. And he's a really nice guy. And all the old codgers always liked me. They always bought me things like, oh, Henry, here's some candy. I'm like, thanks, big, weird-looking lady from the Midwest. Or they'd hug me and pull my face into those large, old, cantankerous breasts. Like, nice lady, you know. So the mission today was to climb up this big, tall mountain, go up and see an ashtray some guy in a toga made about 900 years ago, take a picture of it, turn around and come back down the mountain, get back in the bus and go 5 hours to go see another piece of pottery. And I didn't want to go, so I said, Mom, I'm going to stay down here and play in the dirt. Don't get in trouble! I won't. Don't get arrested! I won't. Don't steal anything! I won't. I never wanted you! I know. She goes up the mountain with all the old codgers. I'm standing around looking for lizards, looking for something to do. And I notice there's a big old like box truck over there on the side, parked in this circle. I look over and there's this box truck. The door slides open. Big, old, ugly Greek guy gets out. All right. stick of gum and hands it out to me. And the one rule they told us as little kids over and over and over, don't take candy from strangers. Every morning before you go off to school, tell me the 3 things you're not gonna do. I'm gonna not cross the street without looking both ways. Right! I'm not ever gonna forget that you never wanted me. Right! And I'm not going to... You're not gonna take candy from strangers! What? Alright, man! So you never take candy from strangers. So I go up to the guy, and I go, sorry, sir, I can't take candy. He grabs my hand, pulls me into the truck, shuts the door. I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on? Big Greek man is a magician of sorts. Presto! My pants and underwear are down around my ankles. And I'm like, ah! No shit. Big burly Greek man is trying to suck my dick, man. And he's got a hold of my dick going, ha ha ha, like, this is big fun, yes, ha ha. I'm like, ah, ah! And he's like pulling me, he's like sitting on some box, and he's pulling my little waist towards his face. And I'm going like, ugh! So I wriggle free. He was like terrifying, man, big ugly guy, and he's like holding my dick going, ha ha, we are making big fun now. And so I broke out of there, and I fell like a sack of potatoes because I had my underwear and my pants down by my ankle. Boom, I fall out, and I pick myself up, and I run away from the truck to about the middle of the circle, and I'm standing there crying like some, like some little fucking tear machine, like, I was just freaked out, and all these people are coming out of their stores looking at the strange American boy screaming, and finally, one of the old codgers who didn't make it all the way up the mountain to see the ashtray comes down and goes, Henry, what happened? Oh, man, he pulled my pants down and he touched me. Oh, you were molested. What? You were molested. It's like a new word. I was molested? You were molested. When your mother comes down from the mountain, tell your mother that you were molested. So like, my mom and all the old codgers, Michelle and the big burly bus driver guy, all come down from the mountain en masse, and I'm standing there, Mom, I was molested. And I was kind of into it at that point. Like, all right, I've been molested. It is me who's been molested. I've been molested. If you want to talk to someone who's been molested, it is moi. Molested man, over here, get your pictures, line up, I was getting kind of like proud of it almost. Like, I've been through it, I've been molested, okay. And my mom goes, you're a what? I goes, Mom, I was molested with a man over there. He fucking pulled my pants down, he touched me, like, God damn it, I never should have left you alone. I never watched what he went to. Well, listen, I'll get my ass kicked by this bony fucking chain-smoking, callow wine-drinking Mia Farrow clone on angel dust. Fucking fire-breathing, cancerous bitch, anyway. He goes, go over to the bus driver and tell him that you were molested, and then that man touched your penis. Okay. Big bus driver guy, that man over there in the truck molested me and touched my penis. Big burly bus driver guy goes over, opens up the truck, pulls out this fucking Greek pervo guy, proceeds to beat the shit out of this guy in front of the entire town. I mean, like one of those PG-13 R-rated ass whoopings. Everyone's going, holy shit, man. And like the big fat guy is like trying to crawl away from bus driver man. Bus driver man is like running after him, kicking him, pulling his hair and shit, really beating the snot out of him. And I'm standing like, so he's got this incredible scene going in the town where nothing happens. I mean, sure, 900 years ago, a guy in a toga came into town, made an ashtray and split. But there hasn't been anything going since this kid came to town and, nearly got hit from some guy with a beard. So anyway, after they beat the shit out of the guy and he crawled under his own truck to get away from the bus driver, man, we all got back in the bus And we went on to the next city, and man, we got to some ramshackle hotel that night. My mom beat the shit out of me, man. Put me over her knee. Hey, don't you ever go any you know, like, but her fist like this big, so it's just kind of like, ow, oh, ow. And it sucked. So, the story has a title. The title will be called Leave Your Dick at Home. Now, just thinking about that, fellas, wouldn't it be great if you could do that? Because you know how much problem your dick gives you. Like, well, let's just assume we're talking about normal, you know, like not normal, that's politically incorrect. Let's talk with that weird breed of man, the heterosexual. A heterosexual guy attracted to females. Every time, and the women, this is how guys are. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's biology. Don't slap them, slap Darwin. It's just nothing they can control. The guy goes to the beach with the beautiful woman in tow. Slap a VB over under one arm, girl by the neck, and he's got it made. He's just got it going. Goes to the beach, he's got the babe, he's got the slab. You figure that's all he needs, right? He goes to the beach, he sees 4 beautiful women in bikinis. Well, he could have sex with this one here, have a VB, and then he could have sex with all 4 of those other women, never even bother to get their names. The names wouldn't be important, where they came from, what they do for a living, nothing. As long as they look sexually attractive, that guy can go on and on until the break of dawn. Guy goes out with a girl, she's got a hot-looking sister, guy comes over for dinner, he's like, man, and your sister too, baby. And women cannot figure that shit out. They go like, you son of a bitch, you bastard, what are you looking at that woman for? Fuck, I don't know, because she looks hot. But she doesn't look hot, I look hot. So do you. Maybe you can go make friends with her like we could all, like, you know, fucking look up. You pervert, you weirdo! But that's the way guys are, man. They see 4 looking hot, you know, 4 good looking girls, and they think of like 4 weeks. And there's nothing right or wrong about it. It's just, you know, how these gentlemen dispense this information into the population at large, which defines their character. So, well, you know, like, hey, suck my cock, eat my hog, fucking bend over, you know, that shit's a turn off. You know, I mean, I don't see how any guy's gonna get, I wonder if there's ever been a guy on earth who got laid by going up to some girl going like, you know, hey, bitch, suck my dick. I wonder if that has ever worked. Because you hear guys do it enough, but I don't see no one getting laid. I don't think it would work. Well, goddamn, it just might. There's some tough territories in Australia, boy. Yes, the friendly city. Have you ever driven through that? Fucking flies and ugly people. Pigs wouldn't let us use the restroom. We use the men's room. Now, okay, bye. We're leaving Yaz, the friendly town, you know, into the desert where you get out of the car and the flies are all like, great moisture! Have a drink in a day, we'll suck all the juice out of your face! Fuck that shit. But wouldn't it be great if you guys could like remove your dick, like you could take like an 8-track tape or a cassette out of a machine, just like put it on the mantle, go outside, and just be a human being, man. You'd see a beautiful girl walk by, you're like, okay, boss, arrive. You wouldn't be like, all right. It's horrible. Guys and their dicks are like just divining rods. I mean, you want to get into the intellect of a man? Go to a pet shop and buy a dog, man. And everyone else on the beach is giving them space to come out of the beach, and I was like, yeah, right, so what? And me and the other guy's like, in America, you do that, you get arrested, man. Beautiful girl takes off her top, cop's like, God damn it, I hate to have to do this. Actually, it probably turns them on. Get in these cuffs, you. You bustling hot woman, restrained. Get in the back of the car and sweat more. Bitch. Tasteless leather! It sure would be nice though if you could leave your dick at home, because it gets you in so much trouble, makes you say and do the dumbest shit. How many of you guys talked until like your mouth was dry? and you know, you're up till 5 a.m. just trying to get laid. You know, oh my lord, I like you like me. I think I'll just try to stick my hand up your dress. And like finally it's 5 a.m. the girl's like, yeah, fucking go ahead. You have to be at work at 8. You walk in. It's like your 12-hour shift. And your friend goes, well, I got in. Woo! I got a rip. Can't think, but I got laid. That's how much importance men put on this simple biological function. Man will go without sleep to get laid, go without food, go without anything. Horrible. I wish I could just take my dick out, leave it at home, go on tour, see all these hot-looking girls at clubs and everything, just go like, hey, how are you? Good to meet you. Yes, well, I hope you come next time. Yes, it was very good meeting you. Good luck with those classes you're taking. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I don't even want to know what's underneath your shirt. There's one thing that happened to me. It took me years to figure it out. I remember one time I was a little boy. I used to go visit my dad on the weekends. And I remember one time, he was into this big Americana thing. He'd make me stand at attention and recite the national anthem, my hand over my heart. You know, a little 8-year-old, oh, say, can you see, oh, gee, smack, you know. And he was like nuts. And for weekend visits, we would do exciting things like go to Manassas and go walk over the battlefields where the Civil War was fought. Do you know what a battlefield looks like about 200 years after a war? It looks like a fucking field, man. Would you like to walk on a field with your old man for 3 hours on a Saturday? This is where your country was founded, son. And you've been doing that like every 12 weeks for like the last 2 years. You'd think you wouldn't want to go, man, you are the boringest fucking person I ever met. Let's go eat junk food. But you have to like, but if you say anything, the guy like, so you're just like, okay, this is where my country was founded. Make me stand at attention. Do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance louder. And fucking horrible. Anyway, one time I'm at his house. He's sitting in the living room on the couch. And it didn't really occur to me what he said until years later. He was drunk. He's talking really slowly. And he's got a .38 caliber handgun in his hand. And he said, you ever seen a gun, kid? And I only seen him on Superman and Batman on TV. And on my plastic squirt guns. And I'm like, nah, they have them on Superman. He goes, here, kid, hold this. And like, you know, real gun is like heavy if you're just used to your plastic one. So he puts this like brick weight thing in my hand. I'm like, and what do you do if you have a gun, like when you're on TV? You know, bang, bang, shoot people. So I put it right in my dad's face. That's when, bang! I never saw that gun again. It's gone from my hand, disappeared. And then my dad just starts talking. He's got his early times bourbon stink breath. And he's kind of talking off to the corner of the room, not looking at me, but kind of talking to me. And he said this drunk ramble. And I wasn't really getting it because I was so young, but I remembered everything he said, and it hit me a few years later. And this is how fucked up this guy was. He said how he and his friends were in a B-52 bomber in Texas, taking it through a course of maneuvers, you know, where you go from A, B, C, and land the plane so you can learn your navigational things. And he said how they took the plane out of Texas and they went over Mexico, the border. And he said, we came in low and there was a guy, an Indian in a canoe fishing, and me and my friends took our rifles and we shot him to pieces. Don't tell your mother I told you that. And he was just drinking and confessing, him and his friends murdering some fucking farmer guy, you know, they just, for fun, they blew a guy to pieces. Like, ha ha ha, what do you do when you're bored? Go blow some farmer to pieces and then fly back to America, no problems, no questions asked, some dead asshole in the canoe, right? They don't even care. So realizing my dad had done something like that, and it didn't even occur to me till years later, I really understood later on that it was really on my own. But I just figured I'd tell you that just so you know a little bit about American heritage. We come from violence, humiliation, intimidation, violence, greed, violence, political graft, delusion, violence, and violence. And you know, now we're like a disease. Now we're going all over the rest of the world and fucking up everything we can get our hands on. Ozone layer? God damn it, shoot that full of holes. Rainforest? I don't like trees. Horrible. Worst people on earth. Anyway, I tried to do right by my old man. He was into me getting trophies for, you know, soccer. You gotta get a trophy. Football, gotta get a trophy. You don't get a trophy, you're a fag. Okay, Dad. So I was never big enough for football. You know, I go out on the field. Hey, look at that guy of normal height and size. Dad, you know. So I went for soccer. I could play soccer, and I could run long distances. So I do soccer and cross country. And at the end of every sports season, they have the awards dinner. And your dad takes you to the awards dinner, and you see all your other classmates, and you see their fathers in their stupid double-breasted burgundy blazers. They all look like used car salesmen. Horrible. And they get some old Redskin from, you know, the Washington Redskins. They get like some half-drunk old linebacker from the Redskins of way gone by. Give him $50 for him to come in. All right, best player, junior varsity. Kevin Darcy. Kevin, okay. These guys are all tanked old linebacker guys. And you go, all right, that's Ron McDowell, the Dancing Bear, wow. So, waiting for that, they had the MVP, most valuable player, and they had the coach's award, which is like, well, he wasn't too good, but he gave it his best shot. So, as far as a kid coming up, we give him this trophy. And I knew I was never going to get VIP anything. So I was always trying to get that coach's award. Not that I gave a fuck. I was happy just to play. But my dad was, you know, gonna get that trophy kid. So I was always trying to get the trophy. I'd run extra laps, man. I'd fucking do everything I could just to be great for Dad. So he'd like go, all right, kid, fucking A, good man. But every single time, year after year, I'm sitting at the awards thing and they're reading off the names and they go, and the coach's award. I'm going, please. Someone that's not little Henry. I look up down at, like, look over at my daddy, and he looks at me like. We would drive back to my mom's place in silence. My dad would just be driving along, knuckle up against his nose, broken 11 times by hockey. Warm, clapped blue ribbon between his legs, which he would drink at red lights. Put it back between his legs, and we would drive all the way back. I'd get out of the car. See your dad. Slam, wouldn't say anything. So one year, after disappointing my dad, year after year, not getting that trophy, all of a sudden my uptight all-boys school, which never had sex ed or anything, all of a sudden has a drama department. I mean, this is a place that never even taught anything but academics and athletics, and no art, no film, nothing. Geometry, boxing, go home. You know, it's like, they got you ready for the Naval Academy, West Point, or working, like, delivering pizzas like a lot of those boneheads did after they got out. Anyway, one year they have drama, and there's 3 plays going. And I audition for a part in Edgar Allan Poe thing, the Telltale Heart. The guy, you've heard that story. And so anyway, there's like the main guy in the Telltale Heart. He's the one who imagines he murders someone, and that heart, the frozen eye, theater. And so anyway, three different plays going on after school every day, 5 days a week for an hour. And at the end of, when you get your play together, there's going to be a county drama festival / contest where you will stage your play, all these other schools will stage their plays, and at the end, there will be a trophy given out for best actor, best actress, best play, you know, this whole thing. They make it into a competition. All the school weirdos and spastics were in the Telltale Heart. We're all walking around with our scripts like, all right, I'll come into this scene. No, idiot. I mean, we're like all the school Ritalin boys. We were all in the Telltale Heart. And the play was called The Telltale Disaster. That's a, hey, Henry, you're still in the Telltale Disaster? Like, fuck you, man, we're gonna be great. He's like, we were horrible, right? So the last week, we really get it together. You've got all these, like, spastic kids, and they're like, I can do this. And we put this play together. I went home, I made a tape where I read everyone's parts, and I left my parts blank, and I would fill it in. I had to play backwards and forwards. I could tell everyone else their lines. I could help them out. I really wanted to do this because it was fun. It was so much fun. And so anyway, the big night comes. Our whole campus is full of like all these kids and their costumes and props and all this shit. And I said, Dad, would you please come to this thing? I've been working on this play, and great, I'm putting everything into it. My dad goes, well, you know, plays are for fags, kid. Well, would you please come? He didn't say whether he'd come or not. So we go out on stage, and I'm looking around for my dad, and sure enough, he's way back there. I'm like, oh man, my dad came. We did our run of the Telltale Heart, hit every line perfectly. I was the lead guy. I was like having to bullshit the cops by reciting the Declaration of Independence and all this shit. Meanwhile, you know, the heart and is under the floorboards, and I'm losing it, and I do it well, you know. And so we finish the play, and everyone else does their plays. And at the end of the whole night, they give out the awards, and they go, you know, best play, you know, someone else gets it. Best actress, some girl. Best actor, Henry, the man in the Telltale Heart. I'm like, huh? And, you know, my mom goes, get up there, you little bastard. I go up on stage, and they give me a trophy. It's like, you know, swimmers, like, you know, they have the trophy, or like riflemen, you know, pig killing, like, you know, they have all those little bronze images, you know. And they had a tragedy and comedy mask, like little bronze tragedy comedy mask, and it said 1978 best actor, and there's a trophy, and I just went up there and went, thanks, and got off stage, and it was great. Everyone's going after me, God, Henry, man, you were so cool, all right, you know. Then I have a whole bunch of buddies and stuff, and I got a trophy. I'm like, wow. And so I go up to my dad, and I go like, here. There's your trophy. And he said, this is a fag trophy, kid. And he handed it back. Fucking broke my heart, man. And I drove home with my mom, and my mom, you know, she was pretty into it. We'll play it in the window so everyone can see it! You know, or something like that. And she put it somewhere visible. Like, here's my little asshole son trophy! I never wanted him to die, and beat him over the head with. Whatever. And I took the trophy and I hid it in the closet, and it eventually disappeared over the years. I never saw it again. But after that happened with my dad, I truly realized that I was really on my own growing up, so I decided to, that's when I moved into this basement that was in this house we were living. I moved into the basement, got the Are You Experienced record, and, you know, got a DeVita, and I was like, had one of those El Cheapo record players that keeps playing the side over and over again. I would like play these records like until they were see-through. And I would sit in this basement and just go like, boy, sure I'm on my own. And like, that's why I'm all fucked up today. Son of a bitch. Can't really, because, you know, we're on our way to, Portland, Oregon. And I gotta drive to, fuck, I'm sure we're staying in town. Sure, beautiful. I mean, it was pretty cool, you know. And so she said, well, give me your phone number. I'll come down to LA and visit you sometime. And I went, oh, no, you don't. I was living in this really fucked up tool shed, sleeping with snails and spiders. And, you know, we were really poor. And I said, oh, you wouldn't want to come down there, man. It's pretty gross. And then she goes, well, you know, I have a lot of friends down there, and I go down there anyway. So next time I'm down there, I'll just ring you up, okay? I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. So I gave her the number of this house where I was staying in backup. So a couple of months later, phone rings. It's that girl. And she'd written me a few letters in the meantime, and like she's like into the occult and into like, what sign are you? And like she sent me a crystal to wear, and like space woman, you know? And I'm going, I don't know about this. She said she's sending me incense. Here, burn this in your room tonight. And like she's sending me pictures of weird cats. She says have like special powers and stuff. I'm like, no, you just go back to Mars, alright? I work for a living. Get the fuck out of here with your incense and your fucking 7th moon in the 5th house, man. So she calls up, she goes, hi, it's the girl, I'm in LA. I'm like, oh, I'm like, well, that's great. Well, you know, I'm right about to leave for a 9-year tour, actually. Going to Alaska. Go figure. We're leaving. Oh, my God, I gotta go. We're leaving 5 minutes ago. She goes, I know where you live. I called some friends who've seen you around their neighborhood, and they know where you live over on 21st Street. I'm like, yeah. Well, I'll just come on over there. See you soon. Bye. And like, she hangs up, and she shows up at my place. I'm like, hi. And I don't want to have really anything to do with this girl now. And because she's really intense, really far out, and she's just tripping me out too much. I'm like, no. But I can't go like, you know, I reject you. I'm just like not that kind of a guy. I just can't be nasty to someone like that. So I'm coming up with every possible way to say like, please go away from me. So I start making myself look like, you know, the most boringest man on earth. I'm like, well, you can hang out, but oh man, you don't know anyone more boring than me. Well, I have to go down to the beach right now and go work out. Then I've got band practice, and then I've got to come back here to the shed and Bible study. And then, I'll be going to bed probably around 9 o'clock. Like to get a good early start on the day because I have prayer for 4 or 5 hours. And then I usually paint wood and watch the paint dry. And then I go to the beach and work out and go to band practice. Boy, a more boring person you could not find with me. If I were you, I'd probably get with one of your friends and go out and have fun, because none of that kind of stuff ever happens here. She goes, oh, I'll just go to the beach and watch you work out. Okay, so I go down there, fucking, you know, hitting the bars and doing the workout. I come back, well, now it's Bibles. No, that's actually his band practice. She comes down and watches band practice, which is like the boringest thing on earth, watching Black Flag crank through the My War album twice, you know? And so she's like, after she goes, God, that was so great, it's electrifying, it was polarizing, I think I came. I'm like, what about your friends? Boy, they sure are going to be wondering where you are. Yeah, I think you should probably go catch up with them. They're probably going to be doing lots of fun things. I'm just going to go back to this moldy shed and sit and pray and cry. She came back with me. And so around 9 o'clock comes, I'm usually up till 3 writing like, you know, bing, fucking metabolism. Oh, 9 o'clock. Well, I guess I'll just go to sleep right about now. Like I roll out the sleeping bag, I sleep. She hops in with me, puts her arms around me. I'm like, well, I guess you can sleep here if you want to, but I snore a lot while I sleep. You might just want to go back to your friends. I cannot get rid of this girl. The morning comes. I'm like, okay, now she'll leave. She's been here almost 24 hours, and she's not, you know, I'm not going to have sex with her. She's got to be able to get this through her head by now. And she'll make up some polite excuse and like, well, I sure am getting really bored of you. I guess I'll have to go. And I'll go, wow, it sure was great having you around. Hope I never see you again. Bye. Yeah. So in the morning, I get up. Well, I've got to go. Paint that wood, you know. And she goes, I want to fuck you. And I went like, ha! Well, that's funny because I don't have one. Damn it! Still gone. I'm waiting. I've been waiting. I've had one on order for, oh God, about 3 years now. Never seemed to came in. Well, you wouldn't like me for sex. I cry and come in about 12 seconds. You wouldn't like it. I'm shy around girls. I know. I like men. That's it. Yeah. You have a brother? How about that lifeguard yesterday? Huh? You know. She says, you don't want to have sex with me? I'm like, ha ha ha. No. But not because you're not attractive to me. You're beautiful. You know, I just, I don't know. I'm lame. It's my fault, really. I should be in psychotherapy right now, but I just can't afford it. I mean, I suck. I'm horrible, okay? Just go away. Leave this loser behind. Tell your friends at Flipside, loser over here. I'm just trying to, like, make myself scum. So she'll go, fuck you, you know. So she goes like, no one ever rejects me, you son of a bitch! I'm like, fuck, I'm sorry, I just don't want to have sex with you, okay? I mean, big deal, who cares? She leaves, I go, oh well, I'm blown it again with the chicks. A few days later, Mrs. Ginn, the woman whose house I was staying at, Mrs. Ginn gets a call from the police. This girl's gone back up to San Francisco and filed a rape complaint against me. And the LAPD hate Black Flag. They've already been hassling me for years. Now they have an excuse to fucking break my neck. I am being accused of rape by this girl. Now, if we could rewind the tape and you could see what I looked like and what she looked like at the time. Me, unshaven, long scraggly hair, in beat-up surf shorts, Vans, fucked up t-shirt, in this band, Black Flag. The girl, young, blonde, gorgeous, looks like Sunday go-to-meeting, perfect, squeaky clean. Line us up, and the girl says, he raped me. Me, scumbag. No, I didn't. What the fuck do you think they're gonna believe, right? I know, my ass is grass. I go tell the guys in Black Flag, remember that weird girl who was here the other day? Oh yeah, the one with the incense and the crystal? Yeah, her. She's accused me of raping her. Dude, did you fuck her? No, man, I didn't touch her. No, not even close. And they just said, well, you're in a lot of trouble. Because, you know, this is Black Flag and the cops don't like us and we don't have any money to defend you. We're in a lot of trouble, man. You better call your mom and see if she can help you out or something. This sucks, you know. You better try and get some money. You better talk to someone. So for 3 days, man, I'm like, oh my God, fuck, what am I gonna do? I was really scared. And then the girl called the police back up and say, well, I was just mad at him. He really didn't rape me. Call off your dogs. And so they let me, you know, they didn't bring me in and hammer my head against the wall. But what ensued was like 2 years of harassment by the pigs, where I'd be walking out to the store, policeman pulls right up to me. Hey faggot, where you going? 7-Eleven, sir. Where do you live, faggot? That house right over there. You know, we had done this 2 nights before. Why do you look like a faggot, faggot? Well, sir, it's just the clothes I wear. You know, you into that Charles Manson guy, faggot? Never heard of him, sir. You know, we're still trying to pull your flyers off all the phone poles down by the beach. Well, sir, nothing like that glue, you know. You know, I'd like to go to jail tonight, faggot. Sir, I wouldn't like that. I just want to, you know, dump the mail, go to 7-Eleven, and go back to my house, sir. You know, work for a living. Where do you work, faggot? I work at a record company. You make those faggot records, huh? Yes, sir, every day. And so, after that, man, I hated all women. I was so paranoid. Some girl would walk up, God, I really like the stuff you do. Get the fuck away from me! Witness! Witness! I did not rape this girl! I have not touched this girl! Fucking cuff me now! Get my hands tied up! I did not touch anyone! And man, because I was so scared of this happening again, some girl would go like, hey, you're really cool. You want to go out and do something? I'm like, what? Don't get accused of being raped, you fucking bitch! Get away from me! And like this whole huge thing started all over the place. Like, you know, Henry Rollins is a dick, he hates women, and he's such a fucking asshole. I'm like, fuck, all I was scared, you know? All I was scared. But that rape thing is powerful, because I don't imagine any woman would like getting raped. You know, in America, statistically, 1 in every 3 American women will be raped in their lifetime, judging on phone calls made to the police, so like, I've been raped. And if you think about it, every woman that calls in, there's got to be 1 or 2 that don't, out of fear, or maybe it's their boss who did it, you know. And so maybe every other woman in America will be raped in their lifetime. In Los Angeles, where I live, I know a lot of girls, you know, here and there. I know them. Almost every girl I've ever met in Los Angeles has been raped at least once, sometimes twice. Can you believe that shit? Yeah. I wish it wasn't true. This girl I know, really a hero of mine, this really brave girl I know in the Midwest. She was a hero in Cleveland. Oh, fuck you, man. Right. Hey, I got pulled out of the womb, right? And a guy put a monkey wrench, pulled me out of the womb by a monkey wrench, right? To have my face in paradise, right? But I still got like $160 million, right? I mean, you hate me, and I make shitty movies, right? But I could buy you, right? Hey. And so we're like, so that's just all, this is gonna be great. So we go back, drop off the video, grab our bikes, go to the beach, we do this 10-mile bike ride on the beach, just fucking pumping. Get back from the beach, we're charged up, fucking saw these 2 shitty bands at the whiskey, did 10 miles on the bike, and now we're gonna go for it, right? It's gonna be a great night, you know? It's like, oh, Joe, let's go to the store and go get some food, and then we'll fucking watch Rocky V, go for it, hey. So we go all the way to the store, hey, man, hey, fuck you, right? Hey, fuck me, right? Hey, hey, don't make me have to make myself suck your dick, right? I mean, I love it, right? We had a film that we wanted to give the Sly to do, which, of course, he wouldn't accept. It was called Bare Knuckle. And it was about like fist fucking. And he has to invade a fist fucking circle of criminals. And the code thing is they fist fuck each other. I gotta go in and get fist fucked, right? And this movie, Sly, I take a big dive on this one, right? It's called Bare Knuckle. And then the sequel to it's gonna be called Man to Man. Right, where I fall in love with the mob boss, right? We fuck each other with our fists, right? Man to man, bare knuckle. So we're like going up to the store, going, hey, bare knuckle, right? Go for it. And we're having the greatest time. And so, you know, y'all, when you're with your best friend, everything's funny. You look at someone, ah! So we're in the grocery store, fucking woman walks by, she got a big butt, we both look at each other. We buy the groceries. We're walking back to the house going, hey, go for it, hey, just talking all this shit, and we're about 10 feet away from my house, and these 2 black guys come out of the bushes with guns, and they put them right in our face. They go, this is a robbery. And when we drop our groceries, we go, okay. And the guy who has the gun on me, he's like the leader. And he goes, are you armed? And I look right at him, I go, no. He goes, don't look at me, man, I'll kill you. I'm sorry. And he frisks me all the way down to my ankles like he's a pig or something. He goes, where's your money, man? I go, in his pocket, sir. Takes my money. And I looked over, and the other guy has Joe lying down on the sidewalk with his face on the sidewalk, and he's got a gun pointed at the back of Joe's head. And the guy says to me, he goes, get on your knees, man. And I get on my knees, and he puts the gun at the back of my head. And I said, please don't kill me. He goes, I'm not gonna kill you, man, but if you scream, I'm gonna blow your bitch head off. And he hits me in the back of the head with a gun. And then he goes, get up. Man, get the fuck up. He wouldn't talk loud. He goes, man, don't start screaming, man, I'll kill you. I go, okay, I'm not gonna scream. He goes, get your goddamn groceries, man. I go, okay. Joe got his groceries. He goes, we're gonna go into your house. And when he said that, I said to myself, well, fuck. We're gonna go into my house. I know what's gonna happen now. We're gonna go into my house. They're going to take us in the back room, they're going to shoot us in the head, and they're going to take everything in the house at their leisure. We're dead. So I'm trying to stall for time. I say, the guy goes, you have a roommate? I go, yeah. Is he home? I go, uh-huh. Is he awake? I go, yeah. There's like no one in this house. I'm going, yeah. Meanwhile, we're walking to the house. Joe's behind me, the other gunman's behind me, I'm leading the way. They got a gun behind me, I'm kind of leading up the pack. It's all right, man. We're gonna go into your house now. Okay. And I get up to the door and I open it with my key, and I take about 5 paces in and I drop my groceries and I put my hands up thinking to myself, what can I give them in this room that will satisfy them and keep them out of the back room? If they take us in the back room, they're gonna kill us. Fuck it, man, we're dead. And I don't know how many times you thought you were gonna die. Like, you know, boy, if I don't return my keys, my mom's gonna kill me. That kind of like, I'm gonna die. But man, when you really believe that you're going to die, everything becomes like a Kubrick film, you know, it's like you're living in an Eno record, man. Everything is like really surreal, you know. And I walk into this room, I drop my groceries out of my hands, I'm going, fuck, how can I keep us from getting killed? Fuck, we're going to die. We're going to fucking die. Right around then, I hear a scuffle of feet behind me. I remember 3 gunshots, the cops told me 4. My legs just went, I ran. But while the gunshots were going off, I just stood there still, going, God, gunshots sure sound strange in this room. That's the one line that went through my head. I went like, fucking gun. And then all of a sudden my legs were going. And I went along for the ride. I went through 4 back doors somehow, over a chain link fence, ran up an alley, went to a payphone, and managed to call the police, tell them my address, and tell them there was a shooting, guns going off, 809 Brooks Avenue, please come. And so I hang up the phone, and I don't know what to do now. Are these guys after me? Should I hide? Should I like run? What should I do? I was like out of breath. I can't really believe anything has happened because it's all just happened like 20 seconds before. I'm like, so I just kind of stagger into the middle of the street, And I start walking down the median line like I'm some fucking crazy man. This plainclothes policeman comes up the other side of the street, and I start waving at him like, you know, it's me, help, help. And then they have the bullhorn on the side. And he said, oh, it always happens when I wear these pants. Pick her up, get her some air. Are you okay, my dear? Yeah, I used to take Thorazine. Thorazine and a VB. Fucks your shit up. Oh boy. Man, you take a Marlboro cigarette, man, you dip it in Lysol, man, you smoke that shit, man, gives you a bad headache, man, but it fucks you up, oh boy. Oh my God, that poor girl. I hit my head in Henry Rollins again. I'm suing fucking spoken word violence. Don't attend spoken word engagements, ladies and gentlemen. You could fall out and hit your head. So anyway, I'm running down the street. Cop comes up right in front of me, shines a light in my face. I'm like, right guy, help, help. Bullhorn, go to the side of the curb. I'm like, no, I called you, 809 Brooks. Go to the side of the curb, put your hands on your head, move. Like, I can't fucking believe I'm being, okay. I go to the side of the curb, I put my hands on my head, and the cops come out at gunpoint and arrest me. I'm going, sir, you don't understand. 809 Brooks, I called the police. My friend's over there. I think they might have shot him. We got robbed. Please help me. He goes, get in the back of the car. They put me in the back of this police car. They drive me down Brooks Avenue, about 4 doors away from where I live. And just go, wait here. Like I'm really gonna go anywhere? I'm locked in, I'm cuffed. Okay, I'll just wait here. I'm waiting for someone to tell me something, right? Cops are standing by the car, looking at me, snickering, making jokes, talking about like, well, you know, I think my wife wants me to paint the house. Fuck, I don't know. Christ, got that new Billy Idol record? You know, they're just talking the most mundane, stupid, boring, pig shit. Meanwhile, all the neighbors are coming over, and, you know, they're all like, it's like, you know, a little bit past midnight, they're all like cold out, you know, ocean breeze, looking in the car. Oh, that's that scumbag rocker guy. You know, he's probably selling drugs or something. Well, I'm glad they got him. So I'm sitting there in the back, just going, fuck, someone talk to me. They finally, this pig comes up. I go, sir, can you please tell me what's going on? My friend might be over there, I don't know. We need some information on your partner. Joe Cole, age 30. What's going on over there? That's all we need. We'll be right back to you. We'll have some more information for you in a little while. You just sit tight, okay? Okay. Hey, we'll even roll down the window a little. Oh, gee, thanks. Cuffs him back. Excuse me, sir, can you please tell me what happened to my friend? He's right, sir, about another half a minute. I'm a pain in the ass. Your friend's dead. Goes right back to writing. I'm sitting in the back of this car, man. My brain starts tripping out, you know? I start thinking of grocery lists, where I have to be tomorrow, records I've heard before. My mind starts going, some unbelievable thing has happened like 40 feet over there. And then I look over, and they're putting yellow tape across the street. The ambulance in front of the house, the siren isn't moving, the ambulance isn't going anywhere. They kept me in handcuffs for an hour and a half, took me to the police station. They held me in the police station for 9 hours. And they won't tell me anything except my friend Joe Cole is dead. And at one point I gotta go take a piss. I go, hey, can I go take a leak, man? I have to have a police escort to go take a leak because I'm a witness. I walk into the men's room. There's this big cop holding court with like 4 of the big cops. The cop's going, man, I beat the fuck out of this guy, man. I just kept hitting him in his face, and like the cop who walks in with me goes, shh, it's a witness. Everyone's going, witness, witness, be quiet, man, shut up. And I'm going, fuck. Here's this guy bragging about how he beat the fuck out of someone, and they're not even like, it's like, shh, there's a witness! Don't get busted for police brutality! Shh, pigs are so stupid, man. If your life ever came to where you had to depend on one of these guys for your well-being, you're in a fucking shitload of trouble in LA, man, because these guys are all morons. So I'm taking a piss. My dead friend is swirling around in my head. And the guy who's telling the story goes, you're a witness? And I have my cock in one hand, I look over the stall, I go like, witness! And I go back in, and a couple of people from my book company have arrived to meet me, and they got interrogated before they were allowed to see me. Leading question, is your friend Henry gay? Was Joe gay? And they're like, no. Oh, Okay, you can go see him now. That's all I wanted to know. I'm like, oh, well, he's not a fag. Well, I guess we'll be cool with him. So anyway, I got back to the house the next day. They released me at 10 in the morning. I haven't slept yet. I go back to my house. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I gotta go back there. It's where I live. The front porch is covered with blood. Flies eating it. Newspaper people are there, taking pictures of the house, opening up the mail slot to take pictures of the living room, trying to ask me dumbass questions. Do you live here? Do you see this? You know, they're writing it all down. He flipped me off. He tried to hit me, you know. So a friend of mine who works at the book company comes over to the house and she says, I've just called a moving truck. You're moving out of this house today. You're not spending another night in this place. So just get ready to start boxing this shit up. And the other two people from the book company came over, and they came over armed with boxes. And they start taping together boxes, and they start boxing up everything in my house. I have to go into Joe's room, grab his phone book, go into my room, get on the phone, go A to Z, call every person in this phone book and deliver them the most horrible news that I can imagine. And I'm trying not to like freak out. I have not slept. I mean, I cannot describe the level of insanity that this shit puts you in. I've never had this happen to me before. For all I know, this has happened to every one of you, so I'm not trying to tell you something that you don't know. All I'm saying is, it is the weirdest thing. You're on some kind of weird currency. It's like they plug you into a different current for like the next day. I'm calling these people, I don't even remember talking to them. I don't remember nothing. All I remember is trying not to cry, trying not to just fall out on the ground and just start going into convulsions. Between phone calls, I'm like, and I'm fucking pounding these numbers A to Z, and Joe's dad comes over, and he's like this weird ex-Hollywood has-been 70s TV actor, so he's doing his TV version of sadness. Henry! Oh, it's horrible. How are you hanging, man? It's like, fuck, I never liked this guy anyway. Dennis Cole. Married to one of Charlie's Angels for 2 years. That's how the tabloids portrayed it. In America, the National Enquirer, Angel's stepson grieves Jacqueline. You know, oh, poor Jacqueline, she got shot. Oh no, the kid got shot. Oh, but poor Jacqueline! Joe Cole, age 29, ex-singer of Black Flag, was shot while entering his ramshackle home in Venice, California. I never heard Joe Cole sang for Black Flag. You know, like, poor Jacqueline! And it's like big pictures of Jack, like, wah! You know. So anyway, the whole next week was no sleep. I didn't sleep for the whole next day. At the end of the day, I have just done nothing but call people, deal with Joe's dad, no sleep, just out of my mind, forgot to eat, packed up a whole moving truck full of shit, went to a storage place, moved it all out of myself into this place. I'm exhausted. I go back to this, I'm now staying at my manager's husband's office. I'm sleeping in an office. It's great. I'm now a suspected cocaine dealer in Venice, because they figure if someone got shot, I must be in the drug world, rock and roll, drugs, you know. So I'm like, now cocaine, maybe a cocaine dealer, maybe an assassin. That's great. So anyway, Sunday rolls around, and we gotta go identify Joe's body, and I'm the first one in the room. Now I'm sitting in this room, and there's Joe in the corner, lying on this slab with a sheet up around his neck. And I'd never seen my friend dead before, you know. I just kind of like walked over, I tiptoed, I don't know why, I didn't want to wake him up. It was really weird. I'm like, I just looked at his face, and I looked over on the left side of his face, and man, they shot him so bad, man. The whole side of his face is nothing but powder burns and a big bullet hole. They shot him with a .357 Magnum about 5 feet away from his face. And it blew the big hole here, and it went out the back of his skull. And they filled in half his face with mortician's clay, and they tried to emulate his beard by